Hello and welcome to Miniatures Rundown, the Sunday Preview Rundown. This week, it's time for the Beep Boop, but small.
The teeny tiny Beep Boops, the Adeptus Titanicus.
Adeptus
Mechanicus, Legions. Oh, what did you call it before?
Legions Smallicus, I think.
Legions Smallicus. Anyways, Legions Imperialis, Horus Heresy,
Yes.
Warhammer, Games Workshop.
But
Just keep going
there's some excitement, but also a little bit of disappointment here because we have the new book, Rise the Dark Mechanicum, which is the new supplement, which is basically goes over the schism of Mars. And for those of you who aren't aware, during the Horus Heresy, basically the Adeptus Mechanicus, the tech priesthood, did kind of split down the middle based on whether they supported the Emperor or Horus. Mm-hmm. It's a huge thing. There's basically massive size. It gives rise to my favorite faction that isn't actually in any of the games yet, Dark Mechanicum. And now they are actually in a game, but not in model form.
Yeah, so despite this book being called The Rise of the Dark Mechanicum, there's no Dark Mechanicum here. Not yet.
Not yet, because it does say it appears online alongside army lists for Mechanicum Taghmata, Taghmata anything, and Dark Mechanicum forces, as well as full rules for fielding armies composed entirely of Titans and Questoris Knights, etc., etc. But there's none of those Dark Mechanicum models we've seen previewed are actually up for order today, which is a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah, that's the disappointing part.
Though it is worth noting that you can still play Dark Mechanicum because Dark Mechanicum uses Mechanicum forces, but they also add some of the demon stuff.
It's very similar to the Space Marines, where it's like, these are the bad guys. Use the same models.
Right, which is very fair, because that's just kind of how the Horus Heresy was, and a lot of people actually like that about it. So I don't think we're going to be getting any kind of full Dark Mechanicum army as far as like completely unique units. It's just... But they will have access to some of those things. Unfortunately, none of those some things are out yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about them when they come out. What is out is... First of all, the Mechanicum Battle Group.
Yes, our army box for Mechanicus.
We did hilariously just see some of this in 40K. So when the preview picture showed up, I was like, didn't we get that model already?
We already saw this army box revealed, basically. So we're not going to spend too much time on it. Basically, it's a huge, giant army box full of models that you and I think are really cool. I am on record on liking the bots way more than I like the... troops, basically, for Mechanicum.
Yeah,
The Thralls are not my bag, but the robots super are.
The robots are the cool part. And it looks like there's a precursor to some, like the Death Card flyers.
Yeah, the drones.
Yeah,
the drones came from that.
It looks interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to talk about it much, but I'm sure this will be a great way to get into it if you want to get into the game and like Mechanicum, because they are cool.
Yes.
So first up, we have the Night House Battle Group, which is a bunch of older models that are coming out in a new box. And Josh, would it surprise you to tell you that I did math? I looked up the old ones to tell you how much they're worth.
Mm-hmm. How much?
So this is 2 boxes of the Lancers, 1 box of the, what do they call it? The big ones down here. The Perforons, and then 2 boxes of Questoris Knights. That adds up to $220, which is actually not as much as I thought.
So this is functionally an army box for Knight households, which is also in this book up here. So if you want to play all Knights...
If you want to play all Knights or all Titans, that is an option. So this is all previously available, and they're just putting it together in a little kit that you can buy and basically pick up a whole faction.
Oh, yes, previously for Adeptus Titanicus, which has now been folded into Horus Heresy for all intents and purposes.
Yes.
Or into Imperialis for all intents and purposes. Kind of like Aeronautica has also been folded into.
Well, asterisk on the Aeronautica.
Well, asterisk on the Aeronautica because it left it on the Xenos units.
Yeah. Left it all.
In this case, there were never any Xenos units in Titanicus, so that's less of a problem. But you mentioned Titans, and next we have the Titans.
The Titans. Titan Battle Group. This one also currently available models. They're just putting it in the cool little box. It is $259.50 total. So this one looks like it might be a pretty good discount. The last one I will mention, these are a bit different. They're $40 different. So I hope the price reflects that. So I'm guessing this one's going to be pretty good because this big one by itself is $118.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the infamous Warlord Titan, which is, aka the joke is the only way most of us will ever get a Warlord Titan.
Right.
Because the real one is, or the full scale, not full scale, the 28 millimeter scale one is $3,000 with most of the trimmings, I think.
And like, I don't know, from floor to waist height.
It's the size of a small toddler and about as expensive. Toddlers might be more durable because they're not made of resin. These, however, are not made of resin. I believe these are made of plastic,
Nope,
which is good.
everything here is plastic.
I actually really like all these models. I don't know. I could see myself getting these to get into
Yeah.
Imperialis because I legitimately do like these little the Titans.
Yeah, I agree. This one is just about the size of a Imperial Knight for 40k, and this one is a bit smaller, like Norn Emissary sized.
Yeah. That is my problem, is that one of the reasons I haven't built any Knights for 40k is that I'm intimidated by the size of painting them. So this feels like I would just run into that same problem there, because this is, yes, it's not as big as a normal Warlord Titan, but it's still pretty darn big.
It is pretty big. Yeah, I haven't started painting my Knights yet, but yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be certainly a task.
Yep. Or you just take a spray can and go really quickly.
That's true. Next we have the Mechanicum Army Cards. They release one of these with every new army. This is no different. Little game aids, perfectly fine, acceptable. Probably a little too expensive, as they always are, but
If you like them, buy them. If you don't, skip them.
yep, easy peasy.
We have the Manufactorum Imperialis Sector. Is this the first round of terrain we've gotten for Imperialis since release?
I think so. We might have gotten like one box that had like the starter stuff in it, but yeah, there has not been much. Oh no, there was one fairly recently that had like the spires in it.
Oh right, you're right. Yep. Correct.
Because it was the building with the spires, the same buildings but without the spires, and then some other random scatter thing.
Well, I will say I love these little cranes.
They are adorable.
I love them. Like, I kind of want to like use these for, I don't know, Necromunda or something. Just as these little cranes. This has the person moving boxes around or something.
Okay, that would be great.
Either way, it's terrain for, if you want to make a Mechanicum themed terrain set for your Imperialis matches, this is the way to go.
Yep. It's also very unusual for them to build this kind of like quote unquote scatter terrain, like just little tankards and like the buildings, and it's just a little strange. Normally they go a bit bigger, like with the previous releases.
Right.
But I kind of like this. It adds a little flavor.
Yeah, I do like that we are now getting tiny itty bitty scale Mechanicum containers, because
those are
Lord knows I love putting together Mechanicum containers, so we'll see how expensive this is. Well, speaking of scale, now dive back up into upper scale, where the thing that should have been released the other week.
Yeah, I don't know where this was. Yeah, 2 weeks ago now.
Lost in the warp. It's our Blood Angels Combat Patrol.
Yep. You get 1 unit of Primaris Intercessors, 2 units of Primaris Assault Intercessors.
Assault Intercessors, yes.
2 units of the much maligned Sanguinary Guard, and the new Blood Angels Captain, along with 2 sets of upgrades and transfers.
So it's I don't know on this one, because it's a unit everyone has a ton of.
Yep.
And a unit most Blood Angels players don't like.
Or already have the old ones if they're previous
Or
Blood
have
Angels
the old
players.
ones.
Yeah.
This might be a rough sell. No vehicle, no heavy hitters. I mean, I guess these guys are heavy hitters.
They hit
the
pretty
Sanguinary
hard.
Guard. But yeah, this is kind of a letdown of a box, honestly.
It is. I like that it has 2 of the brand new units plus the new character, but like,
Yeah.
could you have made this a different unit to spice it up a little bit, not just Assault Intercessors again?
Give us more Death Company stuff. I realize it's just Intercessors with more painting, but
Yeah, just put the Death Company stuff in here so that it has that. But no, at least we're getting away from all of the first founding chapters are... No, not first founding chapters, sorry. All of the non-codex compliant chapters are just generic units painted the color that's supposed to be in the combat patrols.
Yeah.
That was a bad habit, and I'm glad we're getting away from it.
Yeah. There is at least that bright spot.
Yeah.
Probably going to be $160 because that's how much they all are.
168 because they went up with the last price increase.
Oh, right. And as always, this will be a decent deal if you want everything in there, and a pretty bad one if you don't. And this one's going to be really close on that line.
It will be.
The moment you don't want one of those things in here, you do not buy this box, because the hero's going to be $40. Intercessors are 65 now, and Sanguinary Guard I believe is also 65.
I also did the math on this one, but I did forget the upgrade sprues. 42 for the hero, 60 for each sanguinary guard, and 62.50. So a little cheaper even than what you said.
Yeah, I guess if you count the upgrade sprues as well, that does add some value. But yeah, the moment you don't want one of these units, I really don't think it's a good buy.
Yeah, I can agree.
Which is normal for combat patrols.
So. Yeah, that's generally how they all work.
And that is it for this week. So not a hugely exciting week, but we had a huge Blood Angel release 2 weeks ago. We just had the massive Stormcast released and even a Skaven for fun. So it kind of makes sense this wouldn't be a big one. And I guess this Mechanicum Battle Group Army Box is a pretty big release if you are getting Mechanicum for Imperialis.
That's true. I wish it was the Dark Mechanicum, but I'm being greedy.
I mean, that's the thing is technically it is. It's just we don't have their unique units yet.
That's true.
But I imagine we will get those coming soon. But you can still, paint them up all dark and evil. Maybe put some chaos stuff on them, and you'd be good to go.
I'm imagining, 3D printing tiny little spikes that you just put on all their, heads.
Everybody gets a spike. Oh, God, they'd be so small.
They'd be so small.
That's it from us this week. We'll see you next Sunday for whatever GW brings us. And until then...
Bye-bye.